Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find this resonates with you in any way, if you have anything to add, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and let us know what you think about this topic of discussion. So, first of all, chosen, I want to talk to you all about the importance of being very, very careful with who you collaborate with, who you trust, who you break bread with, and who you toast with. Okay? Terrance Howard is the perfect example of someone who has awakened and gained much insight. Lots of the wisdom that he has comes from study, but he himself has also admitted that these are spiritual downloads that he is receiving that's giving him the clarity and the understanding that he's able to present to the world. This is going over the heads of a whole lot of sheeple, okay? Sleeple are not understanding the angle that he's coming from. And while there's a lot of colorful language that's being used for those people who are not really educated in science, and when I say education, I use the term very loosely. I'm talking about people who have studied or have read up on particular words and pronunciations and meanings and origins and things like that. Many of us are not that well versed, as Terrance. But consider, he understands that this goes beyond traditional education conducted by the powers that were, okay? They have a very, very, very specific agenda that deals with keeping them in power and keeping particular beings at the forefront or as the face of intelligence. They want particular people to be given the recognition of being the knowers, okay? Or the educated ones, the teachers. That agenda is to maintain power all the way across the board. And Terrance is coming in. He's one of many of the chosen who are breaking through the matrix and presenting to a world a totally different perspective and a different spin on how to view things. And it's shaking things up for the powers that were. But that's the time that we're in, though. We have to acknowledge that here in the age of Aquarius, truth has to come out. This is the time of I know. We are no longer in Pisces with the I believe energy anymore. In the time of I know, truths must be revealed. Anything that has been an illusion or falsehood has to be dismantled and removed. And so Terrance is coming in, bringing forth, theories and a knowledge that is shaking up the foundation of so-called science. And this is something that these people will fight tooth and nail to prevent from happening, because that very science is a part of the fabric that has actually held this false matrix together. Science, politics, religion, okay? These things are the foundation that has given particular beings power for the last few thousand years. And so in every other area of life, we're seeing that people are being exposed. In politics, the truth is being exposed about these thieves that have been wearing masks, but behind, the scenes, they've been the criminals. Okay. The truth is coming out about the religious structure and how much of this is just, based on illusions in order to keep people in a docile, passive state. okay, in survival mode. The truth is coming out about the healthcare industry and how it's being used as a measure to keep people sick because there's a lot of money involved in that. The truth is coming out about the foods and how they are, pretty much giving us the lowest of the load, plastics and, processed things. The truth is coming out about medicine. I mean, everything is being exposed, and now science is being touched. And this is why Terrance is treading a line. It's a dangerous line, but this is why, as the chosen seed, we got to pull together and call judgment upon the heads of those beings who want to silence us, regardless of our gift, regardless of the imprint that we are supposed to make in society to shift this entire unbalanced matrix off of its axle. We have to pray for and call judgment for the fellow chosen seed who have an assignment that requires great sacrifice. And when I say sacrifice, I'm talking about the ridicule, the judgment, the pointing of fingers, people calling you crazy. Terrance is under a radar right now, and he has to be very, very, very specific and discerning when it comes to the people that he is trying to rub shoulders with, because I've seen some of the interviews and it's so clear that many of these people smile in this man's face, but they are so malicious in the way that they deal with him. It's really, they're judging him, but it's like an undertone of sarcasm and bullying and intimidation. And, it's just, they're being very deceptive. They want to discredit him at all cost, to say things to him where they're like, what you're trying to say is, as if this man cannot articulate what he is saying from his own mouth. They'll try to discredit him by coming back at him and saying, well, this is what you must be trying to say. It's so insulting, but it's also very apparent. If you are awakened and you have a clear understanding of the type of beings that we are dealing with out here, then you will be able to see the foolery from just the first 5 minutes of listening. It's very clear that these beings, they work together. And so the interviews that Terrance is having, the people that he's sitting down with, he has to be very, very discerning. I was just watching an interview and I noticed how they wanted to, give him alcohol. He has to be careful with who he's allowing to fix his drinks. If you want to have a drink, and this is a message for Terrance or anybody else, if you want to have a drink amongst your ops, don't never let them pour it for you. You better bring your own bottle, and you better make sure you have somebody next to you that you trust that can help you to prepare that, or you prepare it for yourself. Don't ever just allow someone to go to the back and prepare a drink, because Terrance has a lot of enemies that he has created, not intentionally, but it just comes with the territory when you are blowing the top off of a very corrupt structure that has created its power by creating illusions for the masses. He has to be very, very discerning. And I'm hoping that Terrance, I know that he's awakened, but I hope that he has learned to step into his power on a spiritual level, okay, as a spiritual warrior, because not only can they do something to his drink, but there's all types of spell work and dark magic and rituals that these beings want to do towards him, because they want Terrance to go into a very low vibrational state. You best believe I've already pulled on the energy. I've pulled cards on this. I can see it very clearly. They want this man to go back into addictions. If he ever had addictions, they want to try to push him back into that energy. They want him to feel like he's trapped. They want him to believe that he is mentally insane. And so when you have enough people who have been given positions, okay, they claim to have a particular status in science or metaphysics or, whatever their so-called background is. They call these people in to sit down and to interview with Terrance. But these same people already have an established agenda. It's already been well established behind the scenes before they even get to the interview that the whole objective is to discredit him and to call him crazy enough times to the point where they can subconsciously influence him to believe it. Why? Because it's coming from the mouth of someone who is so-called educated, someone who is so-called experienced, right? And someone who is so-called the perfect image, right? The perfect representative because they have a particular skin color and they wear a particular wardrobe and they articulate their language in a particular manner. These people even attacked the way that Terrance Howard articulates his words. Rather than hearing what he has to say, they're trying to break him all the way down, and they're doing it in front of millions. This is why the chosen, you got to have a backbone. You have to have an internal strength that is immovable. You got to understand where you're coming from, who you are, whose you are. You have to have a clear understanding of your lineage, your DNA, the royalty DNA that you possess. You have to be very, very confident in who you are and the spiritual downloads and the wisdom that you're receiving, because I'm telling you, it's brutal out here. And Terrance Howard is right there in the mix, and he has so many wolves surrounding him that's trying to find every measure possible to break him down to nothingness, because they want to discredit everything that he's saying, because if they don't do it, this could be the final straw to what's kept up their illusion and the power that they have been able to gain or maintain over the last few thousand years. Coming from a melanated man to come in and completely dismantle everything that they have fed to the masses all of this time. Oh no, they can't have that. Now, if it was coming from someone else that looked more like them, they would likely be a lot easier on that person and try to, ease their way into giving that person some form of credit, but they would not be bashing that person and breaking them down the way that they're doing Terrance. Mark my words. This goes far deeper than what the natural eyes can see. The unaided eyes cannot see the agenda, but the awakened, those of you who are operating through your spiritual understanding, you see right through it. It's very, very clear. So we got to definitely pour that energy of love towards Terrance and that energy of encouragement and motivation for him to continue down his path and to continue doing what's necessary to fulfill his assignment, because he is making major sacrifices to come out and to bring his wisdom forward. We all do as the chosen seed, because we are the rebels. We are the ones who are non-traditional. We are the ones who are unconventional. We are the ones who's going to come in and shake some shit up. And folks that have, are these beings who are power hungry, money hungry. Okay. These beings will do everything possible to put us back into the shadows, or to make the world believe that we are either crazy, evil, delusional. Okay. They will try and use anything possible. So let's call judgment upon the heads of all of those beings who have tried to work against the chosen seed and discredit the wisdom that the Most High is imparting through us to bring truth to humanity. So we'll get a white candle. We'll write on it with a permanent marker: I declare and decree The highest form of righteous judgment is now casted upon the heads of all who have the wicked agenda of discrediting the truths that are being brought forward by the chosen seed. In spirit and in flesh, in sleep and awakened state, across all timelines, realms, and dimensions, known and unknown, we have to call judgment, because we're watching right in front of our eyes the tactics that is used by these beings. Okay, we see it very clearly, and unfortunately Terrance, he has thrown himself right there in the middle for the entire world to see just how these people operate. And I just pray for him that he has the strength to maintain his position and to not allow these people to shut his voice down, or to cause him to question himself, or to cause him to surrender or to give up. He needs some spiritual strength behind him. So that's my message for you all. I had to come forward with that because if you see what I see, then you would be enraged and you would be ready to call judgment. And so for those of you who are spiritual warriors out there, I know y'all are on it. I know you're on it. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about this, or maybe even your own personal experience of how others have tried to discredit you when you're coming forward with truths that the Most High has imparted within you, and for you to be used as a vessel to bring them forward. So I'll talk to you all next time. Like and subscribe, and email me if you want any of my services.